Hi kiddos, this is Amateur Woodworking with AZ Evans. Now on the previous episode of AZ Evans we were talking about the different tools that I have in my shop, and I actually referred to this particular saw as a radial arm saw. Well kiddos, as you can see, this is not a radial arm saw. What this is a cross slide compound miter. Now this is a workhorse in my shop for what I explained in the last video. Now, I did miss one particular piece of equipment in my shop, and that's my oscillating spindle sander. Now, this is a very nice piece of equipment, and it plays an important part in my shop. And later on, when we start building projects, I'll explain this piece of equipment more thoroughly. Now, we need to get back on where we're going and what I talked about on the last video, and that was upgrading my shop with a new bandsaw. And the bandsaw I was needing was one that had resaw capability. Now, of course, over here you see my old Grizzly, and you can reference the first video that we did and why I'm replacing this. Now, the saw that I do have coming is from Laguna Tool. Now, I haven't seen this saw, and I've never had any experience with their particular bandsaws, but I've seen nothing but very good reviews. Now, the particular saw that I am purchasing is a 16-inch Italian-made heavy-duty saw. Now, they told me this should ship within the next week. Now, as we go along, this being amateur woodworking, we need to talk about how we are purchasing these expensive hardwoods. And I had some diagrams made up, and what we have here on these diagrams are the different types of saw cuts you can get that you're going to purchase. Now, the first one being the flat sawn, which is the least stable, and you can see the wood grains in this, and let your imagination run wild. I know you don't know a lot about woodworking, but this stuff warps and moves, and you can see how this could warp and move, I hope. Now, the second one is the roof saw. Now, this is a more stable cut. It's a better quality piece of wood in my mind. And over here, this is your money, boys and girls. This is it. This is your quarter saw. This is the most stable. Now, we know the different cuts of wood now. There are 3 cuts you can purchase. But we need to know how they calculate board foot. And down here we've added 2 examples, and these are the only examples out there that you need to know for calculating board footage. And I want you to take these, one or the other, and enter that into your programmable calculator, so when you're buying, hopefully, quarter sawn wood for your projects, that you are calculating them with one of these or the other, and you know that you're not being ripped off, because some of this stuff is $8, $9, $10 a board foot. Now, with that said, being our educational period, I hope you get a little out of this, we need to talk about safety. Safety is the most important part of our hobby. We want to be there with our families with all of our body parts. Now, we did talk about airborne particulates and how it's very important to have a system to take these out of the air. That's why we have this. This pulls that out, it takes the chips out of the saws, pulls the particulate out of the air. But now we got to talk about something that in my mind is even more important. And I want you to take heed here, because it is the most important, and that's your eyes. Now, before you fire up that saw, before you pick up that power tool, put on your safety glasses. Now, I wear prescription glasses, and that's important to me because I need to be able to see. These here, kiddos, are my safety glasses. Now, they're not the prettiest thing in the world. And when you put them on, you kind of look like Frankenstein. But I'm going to tell you right now, when I look at my pretty wife, I can see her with both eyes. So I'm telling you right now, put them on. This has been Amateur Woodworking with A.Z. Evans.